This is In Depth. Tonight, the beginning of a new era. Today, President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris took their oaths on the west end of the Capitol. It was a different inauguration in more ways than one. More than 25,000 National Guard troops there and in plain sight. Joining me tonight is Bob Glenn, a professor at Owensboro Community College and an Owensboro City Commissioner, a nonpartisan seat, and former Illinois Congressman John Shimkus. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me tonight. Congressman Shimkus, the last time we talked was shortly after the attack on the Capitol 2 weeks ago today. When you saw what you saw today, it seemed so very, well, incredible considering what we saw 2 weeks ago. What was your reaction?
Well, I mean, what happened today is what I've expected my entire adult career, and so it was nice to see the unity, peaceful transition. Our country loves winners, but we also like graceful people who, when they do their best and they try and they lose, they're good losers. And the President Trump, disappointed me again and not being there for that peaceful transition. I'm glad the Vice President was there. I'm glad George W. was there. But it continues a really sad end to a pretty successful presidency from the policy side.
Well, Bob, this seems surreal, of course. It was a smooth transition, at least what we saw today. But it's going to be a very uphill battle for President Biden. How tough will it be with such a thin majority in Congress? And will bipartisanship make a comeback? What do you say?
Well, of course, it'll depend on the issues. But I think, first of all, the additional $1.9 billion package is going to be a priority. And I can see that passing with some adjustments and everybody getting less than they want, but some of what they need. I think that it's clear that we're going to have a federalized plan for vaccine distribution. I think that's something everybody on a bipartisan level can support. We all want the vaccine in arms as quickly as possible. And I think we're going to see some pretty strong agreement on the steps we need to take to battle white nationalism and white supremacy. I think that both parties and all Americans are going to generally agree that we do not want to get caught unawares as we did a week ago with what happened on the steps of the Capitol. We don't want a repeat of that, so there's going to be extensive steps taken by everybody in Washington to make sure we don't have a repeat of that.
Well, with that said, Congressman Shimkus, the relationship between President Biden and Senator Mitch McConnell, how critical is that going to be to get something done on the Hill?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be critical, and Bob's correct. I mean, what sides have to get is they have to decide to get 70% of the loaf instead of 100% of the loaf in negotiations. President Biden is a creature of the national government. He's been around there. He's got friends, obviously a senator for decades. The relationships matter in public policy and in governing. That's a positive aspect. It'll be interesting to see how much Biden is held captive by the far left in asking for too much. And remember, you need really a filibuster-proof majority to move public policy, and that speaks to the 70% of the loaf argument, and that's the sweet spot if he can get there.
And Bob, we're talking about policy here and compromise, but something else is in the picture, as you well know, and that's the upcoming impeachment trial. It could start as early as next week. How much of a distraction will that be, and how are they going to be able to do both at the same time, policy and impeachment?
Well, the times demand that they do both. And now that the House has impeached President Trump for the second time, the Senate, whether they want to take it seriously or not, has to have the trial. And the Democrats now have a majority in the Senate with the 3 new senators sworn in today. So that's going to dictate that we're going to probably have a little more serious and extensive discussion about President Trump's culpability in the attack on Capitol Hill. But they've got to have a 2/3 vote to indict him for high crimes and misdemeanors. And at this stage, I don't see that happening. I think there'll be some Republicans who might vote to impeach President Trump, but I just don't see it being enough. But there isn't any doubt that vaccine distribution, the second aid package, those issues have to be addressed. They don't have time to wait on those.
And Congressman Shimkus, the latest polling shows that the Republican Party is fractured. Polling shows that 65 to 70% of Republican voters still think that there was some voter fraud underway leading up to this election. That is a large number. How can you reconcile that?
Remember, when we just talk generics about the Republican Party today is different than it was even when I started running. In your broadcast area, there used to be Democrats, especially in Southern Illinois. There really isn't anymore. What Trump did was finish that move in rural America that disaffected the people who felt the elite and the coastal elites just walked by them and walked over them. So this new party still has that anger against elitism. Trump's been able to parlay that into his political success, and he parlayed that into this anger at the election results. And it will be a challenge. I think it's gonna take a while. And my colleagues and friends who are trying to speak out and casting tough votes, they're going to be targeted in this next cycle by the remaining remnants of the Trump organization in the Republican circles and your broadcast area. I can guarantee you.
Well, former Congressman John Shimkus and our political analyst Bob Glenn. I wish we had more time tonight, but the clock's not my friend. Thank you very much for taking the time to be with us.